This video is going to show you how to replace the bands on a dual band Raptor unit. The replacement kit for a dual band Raptor unit is going to contain 2 replacement bands. It's going to contain the hardware that goes on the end of the cord that's opposite the athlete, 2 washers, a string, and some duct tape on a small piece of elastic cord. The 5 things you're going to need when you replace the cord is basically a pliers, a Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of scissors, and a lighter, and so basically clear magic tape. Okay, step 1 is removing the cover of the unit. And to do that, you're going to have to use the Phillips head screwdriver to remove these 4 top side screws and the 2 screws on the back. Total of 6 screws altogether. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the 4 top side screws. Let's place them over on the side here. Make sure you press down hard enough with the screwdriver so you don't strip the screws. I'm going to tilt this up here, take off the 2 top screws. But right now, we're going to show you how to replace a cord that's still in the unit, but it's damaged. Remember, the right side cord exits the left side of the system. The first thing we're going to do, so we're going to pull some cord out of the system here. And what we're going to do is, assuming this cord's damaged, we're going to cut this cord here. Now, before we cut it with the scissors, this is what the magic tape is used for. It's to stop the braiding once you cut it from unraveling. If the braid unravels, the cord's going to get really thick, and you don't want that to happen while you're trying to do the replacement procedure. So the first thing we do is we take a small piece of tape and we wrap it tightly around the cord. Once you got it wrapped around the cord, you take the scissors and you cut it. Now once you cut it, this lighter, you can seal the nylon. All you do is touch the flame to the nylon, you'll see it curl up. And once you do that, the nylon is basically locked and it won't be able to unravel. Okay, so now we're going to grab one of the replacement cords and we're going to unfurl it. Once the cord is unfurled, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this string and some duct tape and attach these 2 cords together and just pull the cord right out of the machine, and it's going to string it for you automatically. So the first thing we're going to do is going to take a little piece of this string here, and I'm going to tie a knot in here. I'm going to tie a couple knots actually. So now you can see we got a pretty good sized knot in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the duct tape that you get with your repair kit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this knot on the cord. I'm going to put the duct tape in front of the knot. So now when I pull on that, it's going to be very hard to separate this cord from the string. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the other end of the string, put the extra string aside for the next cord. I'm going to tie a couple knots in this cord. Once I've done that, I'm going to take a little more duct tape. Laying the cord, the string on the cord with the knot behind the duct tape. Then I press the duct tape. Now basically these 2 cords are attached end to end. Okay, now one thing you want to remember make sure you do not take this pulley off and end up attaching the cords like this without the pulley on it, because otherwise you're going to end up restringing the system again. You need to have this pulley that attaches to the fence on the cord already. Now, the next part of this procedure is really easy, because all we're going to do, we're going to pop this cord here, and we're going to start threading the new cord through there. Now what you want to do is you want to help the cord through here. You don't want to just yank on this cord. What you want to do is you want to help feed it through here. Every time it comes up to a pulley, you want to feed that cord through and help it through. Because you don't want to separate the cords. Once you separate, if you separate the cords for any reason, you're going to lose the routing, and then you've got to go to the other part of the procedure, which routes the system when it's bare, and that's a little bit more difficult. So I'm just going to keep on pulling with this. Let the cord come through. And this makes it easy because the routing is preserved. You don't have to worry about when to cross over and what pulley to cross over on. All right, now here you can see I'm pulling the cord out now. Again, make sure you help the cord through so it doesn't get hung up. And now I've just pulled the cord all the way through the machine out the cam cleat. So now you're going to continue pulling. And now the cord's replaced. And what you want to do, make sure you take the spring clip off your old cord and put it on the new cord. Now, what do we do with the tail end of the cord now? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little piece of magic tape on here, masking tape. I'm going to use the scissors now, cut this off. Now I'm going to take the lighter and put a flame on that just a little bit until the nylon melts. And now I don't have to worry about this nylon coming apart and having this band get really thick. The reason we don't want to do that is because the last part of this procedure, we're going to put the hook and stopper that goes on the opposite end of the cord that you attach to the fence. If you don't seal this properly and it opens up, you're going to have trouble getting it inside this clip. Now, this clip is designed, it's got barbs in there. When you put it on and you slide this other piece over the clip, it pushes the barbs into the elastic cord through the nylon so that it sticks. If you leave this tape on here, you're going to stop the barbs from going into the nylon and holding. So what I like to do typically is take this tape off after you've sealed it. One other thing that we can do to get this tape off, if you're having trouble getting it off, you've got to be very careful. You can take a knife and just rub it ever so slightly on the tape. Not hard enough to cut the nylon, but hard enough to get through the tape. Okay, now once we've got the tape off, you can see that end is sealed. All right, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put on the rubber stopper with the narrow end facing out toward the end of the cord and the wide end facing toward you. You're going to put that on. Then you're going to put on a washer. And then you're going to slide on the sleeve that's going to pinch the hook to hold on to the cord. So that sleeve goes on. And then you're going to take the hook and you're going to twist the hook on there. and insert that cord all the way into the hook. Now the next thing you do is you're going to slide this sleeve up. Now sometimes you can push hard enough to get this sleeve on and snap it, but a lot of people aren't going to be strong enough to do that. And that's why you need a kind of a vice grip type pliers where you can basically grab the bottom of this sleeve there. So now we use the pliers and we push it all the way up. And we've got the clip end on and it's secure. Now the next thing we're going to do is you're going to put a knot on the front side here and on the back side of this to hold everything together. The first knot we're going to tie is the knot on the front side of this. It's pretty easy. All you do is you loop it around, loop it through itself. Then once you make the knot, you push the knot toward the end of the clip. Then you pull and you cinch it. Then you're going to roll, or you're going to push the stopper up with the washer, and the last knot you're going to tie is behind the stopper. So we tie one knot like that, and as you pull the knot, you work your way toward the end of the stopper. And slide that knot so it butts right up against the stopper. Now the reason we tie these two knots is so that if you pull on this thing, the knots take the stress off of this piece here and stops the cord from ever coming through the stopper if there's a breakage. And so now basically you're done. Now the procedure that I just used to replace this cord is the same exact procedure you use for the left side cord. So when you're done replacing both cords, by repeating the procedure I just did on the left side, and the cords are all back in, you replace the top. And we recommend that when you put the top back on, go ahead and put the 4 top side screws in first. And do not tighten them all the way. Just a couple turns until you see the screw grabs. And then put one screw in on the left side, and then put one screw in on the right side. So you don't want to put one screw in all the way and tighten it down, because if these aren't aligned, you're going to have a heck of a time trying to line up the holes with the threaded part of for the screw in this housing here. And then we're going to go ahead and put another screw in on the right side, top side. And then we're going to put a screw in, a couple turns, on the left side, top side. And now that screw went in. Now none of these 4 screws are tight yet. And the reason I don't tighten them up, because I want to make sure I have an easy time aligning these 2 top side screws. And you can see that this can move around now because I did not tighten these 4 screws. And we're going to need that play to make sure these screws line up. Left side screw went in great. Right side screw went in great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tighten up the 4 top side screws. I'm going to go on the left and then the right. Back to the left, top side, and the lower right. And now my unit's ready to go.